Picture this. You take your wireless earbuds out of their little case, and before you even press a single button, boom, they're already connected. The music just starts playing instantly. It's one of those everyday routines that feels, well, entirely effortless. But, if you stop and really think about it for just a second, it kind of feels like actual magic.
I mean, think about it. There's no physical cable running from your phone up to your ears. There's no Wi-Fi router sitting there acting as a middleman. There is absolutely zero connection to the broader internet required. Somehow, this completely invisible information is just traveling right through the empty air between two tiny devices tucked away in your pocket. So to understand this everyday magic, we really need to follow the incredible journey of a digital signal. We're going to unpack exactly what happens in the invisible air around you the very moment you take those earbuds out of their case. The big question is, how does Bluetooth actually work? Part 1, the invisible connection. Now, for decades, connecting two devices meant one thing: running a physical copper cable right between them. To finally ditch those cables for an invisible connection, engineers had to figure out a way to send high-speed data using low-power radio waves that could easily be generated by small portable batteries. Back in 1989, a guy named Niels Rydberg at Ericsson Mobile in Sweden kicked off a project to develop this short-link radio technology. The ultimate goal: to replace wired headsets forever. Now, you might be wondering why the name Bluetooth. Well, it actually goes back to the 10th century King Harald Bluetooth, who famously united all these disparate Scandinavian tribes into a single kingdom. In 1997, a developer at Intel pitched the name because this new tech was quite literally being built to unite all these different communication protocols under one universal standard. And it worked. By 1998, tech giants like Ericsson, IBM, Intel, Nokia, and Toshiba launched a special interest group to make it an open standard for everyone. At its core, Bluetooth is a short-range wireless standard. It uses ultra-high frequency, or UHF, radio waves in the globally unlicensed industrial, scientific, and medical band. Specifically, we're talking about the 2.402 to 2.48 gigahertz range. But here is the wild part. It uses the exact same 2.4 gigahertz radio frequency band as baby monitors, garage door openers, and even those old-school cordless phones to beam data invisibly through the air, which, of course, naturally leads to a massive mystery. Part 2, the secret handshake. Okay, so if everything from your earbuds to your neighbor's baby monitor to the microwave in your kitchen is shouting out into the room on the exact same radio waves, why doesn't your Spotify playlist suddenly start blaring out of your garage door? Well, the answer is a highly secure secret handshake, officially known as pairing. Before two devices can communicate, one device broadcasts these special messages called advertising packets. It's essentially standing there shouting, "Hey, I'm over here." Once your phone hears this, they discover each other and perform a super complex mathematical exchange to create a shared secret, known as a link key. Think of it like two people meeting in a massive, chaotic, crowded room. They exchange a complex, secret handshake to verify exactly who they are, and then they agree on a completely private language that literally no one else in the room can possibly understand. Once they're paired through this encrypted bond, they just ignore everything else and only trust each other. Part 3, the crowded airwaves. Right, so now that they trust each other and have locked down that encrypted connection, they face an entirely different physical challenge: actually navigating that crowded, chaotic room full of other wireless signals like Wi-Fi without crashing into them and destroying all the data they're trying to share. To pull this off, they have to get incredibly clever with how they package the information. Your music, it isn't actually sent as one long, continuous stream of data. If it were, any momentary interference would just completely break the audio. Instead, the digital information is chopped up into thousands of tiny individual packets. It's almost like taking a massive, thick book, ripping out the individual pages, folding each one into a tiny paper airplane, and throwing them across the room, one by one, to be perfectly caught and reassembled on the other side. And this is where the sheer genius of Bluetooth radio engineering really shines. Bluetooth takes that 2.4 gigahertz radio band and slices it up into 79 distinct channels. Imagine walking into a massive, deafeningly noisy restaurant. Instead of just standing right in the middle and yelling to your friend, Bluetooth essentially sets up 79 different empty tables spread out all across the room where your two devices can sit and quietly pass their tiny paper airplanes back and forth. But wait, what if a super powerful signal from, say, a Wi-Fi router comes and sits right at your table, causing a ton of interference? Well, to dodge that, your devices grab their digital packets and constantly hop between these 79 channels at an absolutely blistering rate of 1,600 times per second. It's a brilliant trick called adaptive frequency hopping. They literally learn which channels are experiencing heavy interference in real time, completely avoid those bad channels, and jump to clean ones, 1,600 times a second, in perfect, flawless unison. It is this highly choreographed, totally invisible dance happening right next to your head.
Part 4. The distance limit.
Now, this brings us to a somewhat frustrating everyday reality. If your devices are so incredibly smart at chopping up data, encrypting it, and hopping frequencies 1,600 times a second to dodge interference, why does your music suddenly drop out just because you walked out of your bedroom and into the kitchen? The answer lies in a fundamental design philosophy of the technology itself. You see, Bluetooth violently prioritizes battery life. Most standard Bluetooth devices, like your earbuds, operate as Class 2 devices. That means they transmit at an incredibly low power, just 1 to 2.5 milliwatts. To put that into perspective, they are essentially whispering across the room. And because they're whispering, physical obstacles, what engineers call path loss, cause major problems. Walls, concrete, metal, or even just the water inside the human body can absorb or block these incredibly weak signals, causing the connection to fade completely after just a few dozen feet. However, that ongoing quest to save even more battery life completely revolutionized the standard. We eventually moved from classic Bluetooth, which, was great for streaming continuous audio, but super hungry for power, to Bluetooth Low Energy, or BLE. And BLE changes the game entirely. It uses incredibly short data bursts. The device basically stays asleep, wakes up for just a fraction of a second to blast out a tiny packet of data, and goes right back to sleep. This is exactly how things like smartwatches, fitness trackers, or heart rate monitors can run for months or even years on a tiny single coin cell battery. And modern Bluetooth, it's gotten even smarter to stretch that whispering signal further without draining power. Recent updates introduced advanced techniques like forward error correction, or FEC. Imagine some of those paper airplane data packets crash into a wall and get damaged midair. Instead of forcing the sending device to wake up and waste precious battery power retransmitting the data, FEC uses complex mathematics to magically fix the broken data packets directly at the receiving end. This brilliant trick allows signals to travel up to 4 times farther, completely maintaining the integrity of your data without draining your battery any faster.
Part 5. A connected world. What started as this niche little project to simply cut the cord on our headphones has evolved into an absolute masterclass in low-power, high-speed radio engineering. Today, with billions of chips shipped annually, it has quietly become the invisible backbone of our modern connected world. Bluetooth seamlessly coordinates entire personal area networks. It silently links critical medical heart monitors that require ultra-low power. It connects your smart car to your phone so you can take hands-free calls. It ties together smart home sensors. And in a truly mind-bending leap, Bluetooth was even successfully demonstrated connecting to satellites in space in 2024 to enhance the global Internet of Things. I mean, how cool is that? So the next time you use Bluetooth, the next time you pop those earbuds in and the music just miraculously starts playing, take a second to appreciate the sheer scale of the engineering happening in the background. Billions of invisible radio waves are constantly shifting, dodging, hopping frequencies, and quietly carrying encrypted pieces of your digital world through the air all around you. But there is a catch to all of this. Bluetooth can only transmit digital information, just zeros and ones, which means before your voice can ever be chopped into tiny packets, hopped across 79 channels, and travel through the air to your friend's phone, something physical has to transform the actual sound waves coming out of your mouth into those digital signals. That incredible journey of turning physical reality into digital data begins inside one tiny, highly sensitive device sitting right at the bottom of your phone, the microphone, which naturally brings us to our next explainer. How do microphones actually work?